So the first thing we need to do, just like when we make jump, move forward, we need to give an input. Right, so remember, we go in project settings. And do you guys remember which section we go into? No, not maps and modes. That's where we set our map, we set our game mode, we set our game instance. Input. So input is under engine, input, and you'll see we have our old inputs right here. Jump, forward, and backward, we've already done. So let's just add an input for pause. Would this input be an axis or an action, do you think? Is it more like jumping or moving forward and backward?
Action.
What's that, Furbo?
Action.
It's an action because we're not getting data from it. An axis mapping, see with a scale, D gives a 1, A gives a -1. It's not like that. We're just hitting a button once, something happens. So it's an action. So let's add a new action. We'll call it pause. Or I can type anything here, right? Do you guys understand that? It doesn't matter what I type, right? What's pause in a different language? Pausa. There, okay? So we can do a different language, whatever. You can put anything here, okay? And then I'm gonna make it tab instead of escape, just for now. Why do you think that would be? Escape will quit the viewport, right? Exactly. So we want to test it. All right. So there's our jump. There's our pause. I could rename jump to Spanish too, right? It doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm just letting you guys know this is our own thing. Okay. Got it? So now when I go into my player, you'll notice. Maybe. Did it not change? There. This is bad, right? Because I changed the name. So now I can type it in Spanish, right? And now that works. Okay? There's our thing. Okay? So now there's our jump. There's our moving. So let's add the pausa. Okay? There's that, right? That's our own thing. There's a lot of events that Unreal has in, but we can make our own events too, okay? All right. So the first thing we're going to do is just make it pause, unpause by toggling the tab key. Okay? So there's a node that we have not learned yet called flip-flop. What do you think that does? What do you guys think flip-flop does? What's that? We have used it? What's that? Off or on, yeah. You hit the pause button one time, it does A. The next time, it does B. Okay? So we're just going to say game paused. Click on the first time. Copy, paste. Off the next time. Now, this won't work yet, because we can't unpause it. Because when it's paused, we can't type anything in. So make sure to select this action and say execute when paused. That means we can use that when the game's paused. All right, that's very, very critical point, right? Okay, so now let's test it anyway, as is. Let's go into our main level. So here we are, jump up, right? See how the coins stop? All right, cool. So that's working, right? So that would be fine for a super basic thing, but we at least want some functionality to come up, you know, that says the game's paused. Do you want some info? Do you want to quit? Or do you want to keep playing? Okay. So luckily, we already have our main menu widget. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just need, like we were saying, a few things to be different, right? Menu, back button, info text there, right? So we can have that pop up. We can have that go away and make this pop up, whatever. Okay? So what do you think we can do with the main menu? Copy paste it, right? Copy paste. Sorry, we could just right click and do duplicate. Ooh, sorry. And I'll just call this PauseMenu widget. Okay. Let's go back in there in a minute. Now that we have that. Do you see how there's a little star there? What does that mean? It's not saved. So I go File, Save All. And now see that star went away. So I'm going to also do a begin play. And I'm going to store this pause menu in a variable in my player blueprint. So I'm just going to say create widget, pause menu, and then I'm going to right click and say promote to variable. And I'll call that pause menu ref. So now we have a reference to it because we want it to come and go so quickly that it's good to store a little bit of info on that so that we can bring it up when we need to. Okay? So now when we pause it on the first flip-flop, we can drag this variable out and say what? How do we bring up a widget? No, we already created it. Add to viewport. You got it. Good memory. Okay. Add to viewport. And then how do we get rid of it when we unpause? Yep. You got it. Remove from parent. Okay. So let's check it out. It's going to be some problems. What's the main problem? Do you guys remember what I added last time? If we pause the game, everything stops. So what's the problem with the widget? No, it should still go away. It'll show up, goes away. But what can I do with this widget?
Oh, you can't.
I can't interact with it. Why? I haven't programmed anything, but what else? Like,
mouse cursor.
Right. I don't have a mouse cursor because the game's paused, right? So I need to tell Unreal, right? Remember how dumb computers are. I need to tell Unreal, hey, I know the game's paused, but I still want to be able to use my mouse and click on buttons. Okay? So I say get player controller. We can say enable click events. Do we set it or get it? Set it. Why? Let's see. Here's get, set, enable, click events. Here's get. Why do we choose get? Guys, come on. This is not rocket science. What are we trying to do?
Trying to get something. Make the character stuff.
We're trying to enable click events, right? Because right now, when I play it, I can't click on it.
Oh, so we're getting the information.
What?
We're getting the information.
No. No, you were right. It is set. But why? I know you guys know this. So.
Because since you don't have it set to anything right now, you need to enable.
Yeah, we need to enable click events. So I click there. If I just get it, that doesn't do me anything, right? It's just, So there, that's the first thing we do. And now we need to show the mouse cursor. So what do we do for that? What do you think? Show mouse. Do we get or set? Get. What good does that do us? Guys, come on. What? What do we want to show the mouse cursor? Do we get it or set it? Set it to what? True. Okay. Do you guys understand that?
A little bit more.
Okay. We're just saying make it so we can click, make it so we can see the mouse. That's it. There's no rocket science here, right? I'm just trying to teach you guys the difference between get and set. Get would just get us the information, right? I could say get click events, And I could maybe like print it, I guess. And it would say whatever it is, right? Right? So now, right there, it'll say true. Right? So on the screen, a little thing will come up and say true. That's it. I don't know why else we would want that. Also, we could check, right? We could check if that's true or false and do different things based on that. But that's not what we're doing, right? We want to change that information, so we're setting it. Okay? All right, and then what do we need to do? What's the opposite of this? When we unpause it.
Unset?
Yeah, we not unset it, but
Just make it false.
yeah, make it false. Put it here, and like that. Right? I could even just set it to this, right? No, I won't do that. It's too confusing. Okay. All right. So now let's test it. Boom. There we got our mouse. Info, it's working. Quit, works. But what's going to happen when I hit play?
It's not going to do
It'll do something. What's going to happen? This is our main menu still. What happens when we hit play on our main menu?
anything.
Yeah, because why?
That's how we do it.
That's how the menu works. It says open level. So when I hit play, we start at the beginning. Okay? So what do we need to do?
Make it so that it just resumes instead.
Yeah, make it so it resumes. So this goes back to our dilemma that is hard to wrap your head around that Frank was talking about, where blueprints need to communicate with each other. So this would be that instance, right? Because here, right now, on play, we just have open level, level 1, right? But what do we need to do?
Instead of open level change it to just unpause.
We need to unpause. But where's all that in, do we need to? It's in the player. No, the set pause we can do anywhere, right? So I can take this and I can say set paused to false. Great. But what doesn't that do? What are we doing in the player when we unpause it? So, okay, let's try it, right? So right now, set game pause, we turned it off. Great, should work, but it's not gonna. Well, it will, but okay, so there, I pause it. Info, great, but now I hit play, what's gonna happen? No? What did we make it, what did we say? So we hit play, what's gonna happen?
It's gonna pause again.
No,
Does it work?
no, it'll do what we said, which is
Oh,
unpause it. But what's gonna be the problem? What didn't we say that should happen when we unpause it?
stay in that place.
Stay, wait. No, the player will start moving again, I think. What else? Dorlin, you had an idea?
Staying the same.
What's that?
I was saying the same.
It'll stay the same? Something will stay the same. Because what aren't we taking off when I hit unpause?
Clicking.
You're not taking off the menu itself.
The what?
The menu itself. You're not
Right,
taking off.
right. There's nothing in here to remove the menu. So when I hit play, it stays up. Right? And now it's like all messed up. I can't jump because it's doing click. It's all crazy. Do you guys understand that? So computers are dumb. They don't know what you're doing. You've got to tell it every little stupid detail, right? It's like those kids when they say like, you answer a question and they just keep saying, why? All right, so that information about the menu is stored in our player class, okay? So we need to get into that player. But when the player's in the level, it's not a class, what is it? What was that whole lecture I just gave?
It's an object.
An object, got it, good job. All right, so we can't just say like get the player class, okay? That's not gonna work. We need to say get player character. Okay, so that means get whatever player is our player. And now from that, we can cast a player 1. And so from player 1, now we can get that pause menu reference. Get pause menu ref. And then we can say what? What do we want to do with that pause menu? Not setting it. Not, we just got it. That's what this is. What do we need to do with the menu? What was the problem? Make it disappear. So what do we type? Remove. Remove from parent. All right? Okay. Now let's test this out. It should be all right. Here we go. Boom. Okay, all that's working, right? The tab always worked, right? But now we need to make sure that this play button works. Play. There we go. All right. Tab. Play. All right. What do you think? Any questions?
The setting in the game depend on what you're doing in the game.
Of course, yeah. It just think of this as like getting is to check. Setting is to change something. So in a video game, whenever you want to change information, you're setting it. Whenever you want to check information, you're getting it. Okay? So here, we're just checking. We're getting a reference to the pause menu to remove it. Okay? I know that does kind of seem like we're setting it, right? Because we're changing it a little bit. But that's the action, is just to remove it. We're not setting in the widget if it's different or not. But like here would be a classic example, right? We want to change the ability of the player to click and to see a mouse. Usually, you can't click on things and you can't see the mouse in a game, right? You're like moving around doing your own thing. But during a pause menu, we want to be able to set those to be able to do that. So we set it. Okay? Versus here, we're just getting a reference to the menu in order to add it. Okay? I mean, the best example of set get is like what we've been doing, right, with this. We check how many keys do you have? Let's add one to it, and then set that. Okay? That's the best example of set get. Okay? So just to reiterate, setting is when you're changing information. Getting is when you're checking the information. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So this is all really important stuff for your final. Anything else you want me to record? Nothing? Okay.